5 superstars who could replace Lacey Evans in the Raw Women's Championship match at WWE's Elimination Chamber 2021. Hi, welcome to SCW here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now. Leave in the comments in the comment section. Please like and share the video as well. If you haven't watched Raw this week, Lacey Evans announced she is pregnant. And of course, in storyline terms, Ric Flair is meant to be the father. He was dancing like he was at a wedding. Let's be fair, Ric Flair, he is the dirtiest player in the game, and of course now Lacey Evans, in storyline terms, has been to Space Mountain. But if we know from actual facts that this was actually a shoot, this was not just storyline. So Lacey Evans is actually pregnant, and no, Ric Flair is not the actual father. So congratulations to Lacey Evans' family. Of course, it will be her second child, and of course it's great to see it. So do wish her all the very, very best. But of course, we had a storyline in place. We had a Raw Women's Championship match at the Elimination Chamber. I don't really want to see Asuka not compete at the Elimination Chamber, so let's have 5 potential superstars who could replace Lacey Evans at the Elimination Chamber. Option number 1 is Peyton Royce. It's the most obvious, it's the most logical, you could say. Perhaps it's the most boring as well, I don't know, but it just slots perfectly into Lacey Evans' part of the storyline, because Lacey Evans is expected to stay in WWE for the time being, purely for character work, not to take bumps in ring. Of course, they want to continue the Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair storyline. That's what rumours have said this week. We'll probably have a better idea when it comes to this Sunday, but think of it this way. Peyton Royce has been the tag team partner of Lacey Evans. Peyton Royce takes her place at the pay-per-view in the championship match. Lacey Evans and Ric Flair could be ringside watching the match. It could be as if it was normal, but Royce is actually Lacey in this occasion. Charlotte Flair can come down to the ring halfway through and make sure that Asuka retains the championship. It seems quite simple booking. It could be an easy way of getting around this. Potential option number 2 for me is going to be Alexa Bliss. Now, of course, Alexa Bliss has beaten Asuka on 2 separate occasions recently on editions of Monday Night Raw during 2021. My problem with this, though, is the fact that I'm not quite into the spooky stuff that's been going on during these matches. If anything, way to turn me off of a few, WWE. I quite liked the idea of these two feuding a few short weeks before this happened. In fact, I wanted this match to take place at WrestleMania. You've changed the game, WWE. Actually made me kind of not as invested as I was in this before. So, but for the reason that I've said, Bliss has actually defeated Asuka twice. It would make logical sense that if Alexa Bliss was to take place in this match. The thing that makes me feel that she won't is that she's also involved in causing Randy Orton's life misery, and of course in preparation of the return of The Fiend. It's more than likely that Alexa Bliss will be involved later or early in the evening, depending when this card is put together, but involved with the WWE Championship storyline for The Fiend to return, rather than involved in the Raw Women's Championship. Option number 3 is another superstar that has defeated Asuka of late, and that's Naomi. To make Naomi and Lana the number 1 contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships, they actually won a number 1 contenders match, and of course during that, Charlotte Flair did walk out on the match, but Naomi did pick up the pinfall on Asuka, and let's not kid ourselves here. To beat the Raw Women's Champion is a pretty big deal. Now, providing the Women's Tag Team Championship match is not a late addition to the card, I would be quite up for an idea of Asuka versus Naomi. I think this is a fun match, a fresh match, something we haven't seen before, and of course it'd be a nice sidetrack, because Asuka I would expect would retain the championship, but we'd get a fun match in the meantime. We'd cover the cracks anyway of the fact that Lacey Evans can't be involved in this match, and we can go on to pastures new for Asuka after the Elimination Chamber, perhaps start to focus on what her championship match will be at WrestleMania. So I'd be quite in favour of this if this was to go down. Option number 4 for me is introducing Rhea Ripley to the Raw brand. How great would this be? Maybe Asuka decides that she has not got an opponent, she'll do an open challenge, and Rhea Ripley debuts for the Raw brand and goes for the Raw Women's Championship. I think this would be a killer match between these two. If anything, I'm loving it the more I talk about it. And if I'm being brutally honest, if I was booking it and this was to happen, I'd have Rhea Ripley win the championship. That's what I would do, because Rhea Ripley then would come and make an instant impact on the main roster, and you could start building towards that WrestleMania program. You could take Lacey completely out of the program with Charlotte Flair. You can have then, the focus being, instead of Asuka and Charlotte Flair perhaps at WrestleMania as well, you can have a triple threat match with these. You can have the idea that Asuka, she's in storyline terms, she's not going to be sidetracked and stepped over on the road to another WrestleMania. It's not the first time that she's been sidetracked and taken out of WrestleMania due to losing a championship. She will want to win that championship back. There'll be determination and motivation. I quite like the idea of that storyline in Asuka pushing towards WrestleMania rather than being the champion that's, willing to take on all challenges. But we've seen that for the last, 8 to 9 months. I'd like to see things freshened up and a motivated, determined Asuka to not be left out of WrestleMania seems like a storyline that I'd be fully invested in. And let's not forget the history with, of course, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Rhea wanting to perhaps undo the hard work that was done last year. Of course, Rhea Ripley losing to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 36. She would want to defeat her at WrestleMania 37. You've got a great triple threat match there, a fresh match, without seeing Rhea and Charlotte, Asuka and Charlotte, and Asuka and Rhea then at this point all would have happened. You can have the triple threat match and this would be a great blowout at WrestleMania. And of course then, if you are going to do Asuka and Charlotte Flair as the one big final showdown, you can do that at some point later in the year. But last but not least, my last option is Charlotte Flair, because, well, of course it is. It's WWE. This is what WWE does. Charlotte Flair doesn't stay out of the championship picture for very long. The fact that she's not been in the championship picture for so long is because she took 6 months off last year, and she's already been a women's tag team champion in the 2 months that she's been back. She's won and lost that belt. It feels a matter of time before she wants to go back in to the Raw Women's Championship picture. So, of course, that will probably be a very likely destination. If it was me going for it, I'd say Nikki Cross, because, well, Nikki Cross, she deserves better. She deserves an opportunity. Her against Asuka was amazing in NXT, so I'd have loved to have said Nikki Cross as the final option, but I think Charlotte Flair is the more realistic one. It also would play into the Lacey Evans storyline, the fact that Charlotte could just, take her place. It would upset Lacey, it would upset Rick, it would actually kind of make a lot of sense. But for me, if you're going to get that one-on-one encounter, as I said, the final showdown, I would actually have Asuka and Charlotte then as WrestleMania opponents, the final showdown. Loser leaves Raw. I think that would be an awesome way to finish it, because these two, they've fought so many times of recent. It would be a great story going into WrestleMania as well. The fact that, Asuka has never beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. She's beat her once, but it wasn't really the cleanest of affair. Charlotte did have a niggling injury at the time. Charlotte's always seemed to get the best of Asuka. It would be better, in my opinion, at a WrestleMania if Rhea Ripley wasn't around rather than actually doing it at this particular pay-per-view, because it's like I say, if loser was to leave Raw, perhaps Charlotte would be on the losing end at WrestleMania. Charlotte can move over to SmackDown, and of course they like to do it in trade formats. Maybe someone like Bayley could move to Monday Night Raw. That'd be certainly the way I would like to book it, how I would like it to go down. So that's 5 people that could replace Lacey Evans at the Elimination Chamber to go into the Raw Women's Championship match to face Asuka. Let me know your favourite in the comments below. Who would you book? Have I missed out your favourite? Do let me know right now. I would like to interact with you in the comments section. And of course, there is always the outside chance that none of this will happen. They'll probably still keep Lacey Evans on the show somehow, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, WWE will give an update, because as of right now of recording, it's still listed that Asuka will take on Lacey Evans at the pay-per-view, which for me, I don't see how that can go down. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I look forward to interacting. Have you seen my latest videos? Why Mustafa Ali should attack Kofi Kingston and take his place in the Elimination Chamber. That video is available for you now, as well as that Elimination Chamber predictions are available also. More videos on the way this week, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment as well. Hit the thumb up, and also when you subscribe, hit the bell as well and set the notifications to all, when each and every video is released here on SCW. But that's all from me anyway. Thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.